Some marriages end the day you stop being seen, not with rage, just with replacement. And sometimes the one who was forgotten carries more than anyone knew. May you find the clarity to see yourself even when others choose not to. May you recognize your worth before the world demands proof. If you're watching this, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I'd love to know. Now let me tell you about a woman who walked away from everything, while her husband had no idea what everything actually meant. The lawyer slides the folder across the table. She doesn't reach for it. Her hands stay folded in her lap, fingers interlaced but not gripping. The conference room smells like furniture polish and recycled air. The table surface reflects the overhead lights in long, white streaks. He's already signed. She can see his signature through the translucent top page. The ink is blue. His handwriting slants right, confident. He didn't hesitate. Mrs. Whitmore. The lawyer's voice pulls at her, but she doesn't look up. The documents require your signature to finalize. She nods once. Her hand moves to the folder but stops an inch from the edge. Her thumbnail finds the corner of the paper, lifts it slightly, then releases. The page settles back down. He's not contesting anything, the lawyer continues. The division is clean. You keep the apartment, the car, and your personal accounts. Her personal accounts. She almost smiles. The apartment is a one-bedroom in a building with broken elevator buttons. The car is 7 years old with a cracked windshield she's been meaning to fix for 3 months. Her personal accounts total $8,000 saved from the part-time bookkeeping work she does for a dental office across town. She picks up the pen. The lawyer turns a page, taps a yellow flag. Initial here. She writes her initials. They look smaller than his signature. Another page, another flag. She initials again. And here for the final signature. The pen hovers. She hears footsteps in the hallway outside. Heels on tile, quick and light. They pass without stopping. She signs her name. Olivia Whitmore. Not for much longer. The lawyer collects the pages, straightens them with 2 sharp taps against the table, slides them back into the folder. You'll receive copies within 3 business days. The decree will be final in 60. 60 days. She nods again. Is there anything else you need to discuss? She shakes her head. The lawyer stands, extends a hand. Olivia rises, shakes it once. The grip is firm, but brief. Take care of yourself. Olivia picks up her purse, brown leather worn at the strap, and walks to the door. Her phone buzzes in her pocket as she reaches the elevator. She doesn't check it. The elevator descends in silence. 14 floors. She counts the numbers as they light up and darken. When the doors open to the lobby, a woman in a cream-colored coat steps aside to let her pass. Olivia murmurs thanks. Outside, the October air hits cold and immediate. She stops on the sidewalk, lets the door swing shut behind her. People move past on both sides. A man in a suit brushes her shoulder without apologizing. She buttons her coat. Her phone buzzes again. This time she pulls it out. 2 messages, both from her mother. Call me when you can. Livy, please. She slides the phone back into her pocket and starts walking. The apartment is dark when she opens the door. She doesn't turn on the lights right away. The space feels smaller in the shadows. The narrow entryway, the coat hooks that only hold 2 jackets now instead of 4, the kitchen visible through the open doorway to the left. She sets her purse on the console table. Her keys go in the bowl. She stands there for a moment, coat still buttoned, and listens. The refrigerator hums. A siren wails somewhere distant, then fades. She unbuttons the coat, hangs it on the hook. Her fingers brush the empty hook beside it. He took his jackets 2 weeks ago. Came while she was at work, let himself in with the key he technically still had a right to use. She came home to gaps, closet space, bathroom drawer space, the bookshelf missing his 3 John Grisham novels and the biography of Steve Jobs he never finished. He left the furniture. Everything else was already hers anyway. She walks into the kitchen, fills the kettle, sets it on the stove. While the water heats, she pulls her phone out and opens the messages. Her mother's name sits at the top of the list. She scrolls past it. Underneath, a message from the dental office confirming her schedule for next week. A notification from the bank about her balance. A promotional text from a grocery store. She closes the messages. The kettle starts to whistle. She pours the water into a mug, dunks a tea bag twice, watches the color bleed out into the clear liquid. Steam rises. She wraps both hands around the ceramic and stands at the counter. The window above the sink faces another building. 15 feet away, maybe less, brick and narrow windows. One has a plant on the sill. Another has blinds that are always closed. She sips the tea. It burns the tip of her tongue. Her phone buzzes on the counter. This time it's a call. Her mother's name fills the screen. Olivia watches it ring. 4 buzzes. 5. Then it stops. A voicemail notification appears. She picks up the phone, deletes the notification without listening, and sets it back down. The tea cools slowly. The dental office smells like mint and disinfectant. Olivia sits at the desk in the back room, a small space behind the reception area with a filing cabinet, a printer, and a computer that takes 40 seconds to boot up. She's been here for 3 hours, entering patient payments into the system and reconciling last month's expenses. The dentist, Dr. Paulson, pokes his head in around 2. Olivia, you have a second? She minimizes the spreadsheet. Sure. He steps inside but doesn't sit. He's wearing blue scrubs and holding a clipboard. I wanted to check in. How are you doing? I'm fine. I heard about... He pauses. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. She keeps her face neutral. I'm fine. Really? He nods slowly, like he's not sure he believes her, but doesn't want to push. Let me know if you need anything. Extra hours, time off, whatever. I will, thank you. He lingers for another second, then leaves. Olivia reopens the spreadsheet. Her hands hover over the keyboard. She blinks twice, refocuses, and keeps typing. At 4:30, she locks up the office and walks 3 blocks to the bus stop. The bus is late. She stands with 6 other people, all staring at their phones or the street or nothing. When the bus finally arrives, she boards, taps her card, and takes a seat near the back. The woman next to her is reading a paperback with a cracked spine. Olivia glances at the cover, some thriller with a shadowy figure in bold red letters. The woman turns a page without looking up. Olivia leans her head against the window. The bus stops and starts, stops and starts. People get on. People get off. She rides it to the end of the line, then transfers to another. By the time she reaches her stop, the sky is dimming to gray. She walks the last 2 blocks, passes the corner store with its yellowing awning, the dry cleaner that closes at 5, the building with the chipped green door, her building. She climbs the stairs to the 3rd floor, unlocks her door, steps inside. The apartment is still dark. She turns on the light this time. Her phone rings while she's heating leftover soup. Not her mother, a number she doesn't recognize. She almost declines, then answers on the 4th ring. Hello? Is this Olivia Whitmore? A man's voice, professional, clipped. Yes. This is Richard Calloway. I'm calling on behalf of your mother, Victoria Cross. Olivia's hand tightens on the phone. She asked me to reach out. She'd like to meet with you, tomorrow if possible. I'm not interested. Mrs. Whitmore, I understand this may be difficult, but I'm not interested, she repeats. There's a pause. Your mother is unwell. The soup bubbles on the stove behind her. What do you mean, unwell? She's been ill for several months. She didn't want to tell you until he stops. She'd like to see you. That's all I can say. Olivia stares at the window. The blinds are open. The building across the way is lit in squares, some yellow, some white, some dark. When? She asks. Tomorrow afternoon. 2:00. I can send a car. I don't need a car. The estate is in Bedford Hills. It's a significant drive. I'll find my way. Another pause. I'll send you the address. He hangs up before she can respond. Olivia sets the phone down. The soup is starting to burn. She doesn't sleep well. When her alarm goes off at 7, she's already awake, staring at the ceiling. She showers, dresses in jeans and a sweater, makes coffee she doesn't finish. The address came through last night in a text. She looked it up on a map. Bedford Hills. An hour north, maybe more with traffic. She hasn't been there in 9 years. She takes the train to Grand Central, then boards the Metro North heading toward Katona. The train is half empty. She sits by the window and watches the city thin out into suburbs, then trees, then open stretches of land interrupted by clusters of houses. At Bedford Hills, she gets off. A black car is waiting in the parking lot. The driver, a man in a dark suit, steps out when he sees her. Mrs. Whitmore? She nods. He opens the back door. She hesitates, then gets in. The drive takes 12 minutes. They turn off the main road onto a private lane lined with trees. The pavement is smooth, unmarked. The trees are old, thick-trunked, their branches stretching overhead to form a canopy. The car slows as the lane opens into a circular drive. Olivia stares. The house is stone. 3 stories. Symmetrical windows. A wide front staircase leading to double doors. The lawn is manicured, the hedges trimmed into sharp lines. She hasn't forgotten what it looks like. She just forgot how it feels to see it. The car stops at the base of the stairs. The driver opens her door. She steps out. The front doors open before she reaches them. A woman in a gray dress stands in the doorway. Her hair is pulled back in a bun. Her hands are folded at her waist. Miss Olivia. Olivia stops on the top step. Hello, Anne? Anne's expression doesn't change, but something softens around her eyes. She's in the library. I'll take you. Olivia follows her inside. The foyer is exactly as she remembers. High ceilings, a chandelier that catches the afternoon light, a staircase that curves upward to the second floor. The floor is marble, pale gray with white veins. Her footsteps echo. Anne leads her down a hallway to the left, past a sitting room and a dining room with a table long enough to seat 20. She stops at a door near the end of the hall, knocks once, and opens it. Miss Olivia is here. Anne steps aside. Olivia walks in. The library is lined with shelves, books from floor to ceiling on 3 walls, a fireplace on the 4th, unlit, 2 chairs positioned near the window. Her mother sits in one of them. Olivia stops just inside the door. Victoria Cross doesn't stand. She's wearing a cream-colored blouse and dark slacks. Her hair, once dark like Olivia's, is now threaded with gray. Her hands rest on the arms of the chair. She looks smaller than Olivia remembers. Close the door, Victoria says. Olivia closes it. Sit. Olivia doesn't move. Victoria's mouth tightens. Please. Olivia crosses to the second chair and sits. They don't speak for a moment. Victoria's gaze moves over her slowly, taking in the jeans, the sweater, the lack of jewelry. Olivia keeps her hands in her lap. You look tired, Victoria says finally. I'm fine. Richard said you refused the car. I didn't need it. Victoria's jaw shifts slightly. You took the train. Yes. You shouldn't have to take the train. Olivia says nothing. Victoria leans back in her chair. Her breathing is shallow, uneven. Olivia notices it now, the thinness of her wrists, the way her collarbones press against the fabric of her blouse. You're sick, Olivia says. Yes. How sick? Victoria's gaze doesn't waver. 6 months. Maybe less. The words land without weight. Olivia stares at her. Lung cancer. Victoria continues. Stage 4. They caught it too late. You don't smoke. No. Silence. Olivia's hands tighten in her lap. Why didn't you tell me? Because you wouldn't have come. You don't know that. Victoria raises one eyebrow. You deleted my voicemails. You ignored my messages. The last time I called, you hung up before I finished saying your name. Olivia looks away. I'm not blaming you, Victoria says quietly. I'm stating facts. The room is too quiet. Olivia shifts in the chair. What do you want? To talk. About what? About the company? About what happens when I'm gone? About you? Olivia shakes her head. I don't want anything to do with the company. That doesn't change the fact that it's yours. It's not mine. It's never been mine. Victoria's expression hardens. You walked away. You refused to be part of it. That doesn't erase the fact that you're my daughter. I walked away because you made it impossible to stay. I made you work for it. You made me disappear. The words come out sharper than Olivia intended. Victoria doesn't flinch. I made you earn it, she says, the same way I did, the same way everyone who's ever built something from nothing has to. I didn't hand you anything because handing you anything would have destroyed you. Olivia stands. I'm leaving. Sit down. No. Victoria rises slowly, gripping the arm of the chair for balance. Her breathing hitches. You think I don't know what you've been through? You think I haven't been watching? Olivia freezes. I know about the divorce, Victoria continues. I know he left you for someone else. I know you're living in a 1-bedroom apartment and working 20 hours a week doing data entry for a dentist. I know all of it, Olivia. Then you know I don't need your help. You've needed it for years. You've just been too stubborn to ask. Olivia's throat tightens. I didn't ask because I didn't want it. Victoria takes a step forward. You didn't ask because you wanted to prove you didn't need me. And you were right. You don't. But that doesn't mean you have to keep punishing yourself for being my daughter. I'm not punishing myself. Then what do you call this? Olivia doesn't answer. Victoria's gaze softens, just slightly. I called you here because I'm dying, and because I need you to understand what you're inheriting whether you want it or not. I don't want it. That's not your choice. Olivia stares at her. Victoria walks to the desk in the corner, opens a drawer, and pulls out a folder. She holds it out. Take it. Olivia doesn't move. Take it, Victoria repeats. Olivia crosses the room, takes the folder. Open it when you're ready, Victoria says. Not before. Olivia looks down at the folder. It's plain, unmarked. What is this? Everything you need to know. Olivia's fingers tighten on the edges. Victoria returns to her chair, lowers herself carefully. You can go now. Olivia doesn't move. Go, Victoria says again, quieter this time. Olivia turns and walks to the door. She doesn't look back. The train ride back is a blur. Olivia sits with the folder on her lap, unopened. The other passengers are reading, sleeping, staring at their phones. No one notices her. At Grand Central, she transfers to the subway, rides it to her stop, climbs the stairs to street level. The sun is setting. She walks the 2 blocks to her building, climbs the 3 flights of stairs, unlocks her door. Inside, she sets the folder on the kitchen counter and stares at it. She doesn't open it. Not yet. 2 days pass. The folder stays on the counter. Olivia goes to work, comes home, eats meals she doesn't taste. She avoids looking at the folder directly, but she's aware of it constantly. Present in the corner of her vision, waiting. On the 3rd day, her phone rings. Richard Calloway. She answers, "Mrs. Whitmore, I'm calling to inform you that your mother has been admitted to the hospital. Her condition has worsened." Olivia's stomach drops. "What hospital?" "Lenox Hill. She asked that you not come, but I thought you should know." "Is she?" "She's stable for now. But her doctors don't expect that to last." Olivia closes her eyes. "Thank you for telling me." "Of course." He hangs up. Olivia stands in the middle of her apartment, phone still in her hand. She looks at the folder. This time she picks it up. The folder contains 3 things. A letter, handwritten. Her mother's script, neat and slanted. A legal document, 20 pages, dense with text and signatures. And a business card, black, embossed with silver lettering. Victoria Cross founder and CEO, Cross Holdings. International. Olivia sets the card aside and unfolds the letter. Olivia, if you're reading this, I'm either dead or close to it. Either way, I don't have time to say this. Gently, Cross Holdings International is worth $140 billion. You didn't know that because I didn't want you to. When you were 16, you told me you wanted to live a normal life. You wanted college, a regular job, a regular marriage. You wanted nothing to do with the company, or the name, or the expectations. I let you go. Not because I agreed with you, because I knew you needed to see for yourself what normal actually means. You married a man who worked in marketing. You rented an apartment with peeling paint and a broken heater. You took a job that paid $18 an hour. You built a life that didn't require anything from me, and he still left you, not because you weren't enough, because he didn't know who you were, and you didn't tell him. You've spent 9 years trying to be someone smaller than you are, and I let you, because I thought you'd figure it out on your own. You didn't, so I'm telling you now. Cross Holdings owns real estate, pharmaceuticals, energy infrastructure, and media platforms across 30 countries. The board answers to me. When I die, they'll answer to you. You don't have to run the company. Richard can do that, but you do have to own it, because if you don't, it will be dismantled and sold off in pieces to people who don't care what it was built for. I'm not asking you to forgive me for the way I raised you. I'm asking you to stop pretending you're not my daughter. The legal document transfers full ownership to you upon my death. It's irrevocable. You can refuse to manage it, but you can't refuse to inherit it. I'm sorry I waited this long to tell you. I'm not sorry for what I'm leaving you. Victoria Olivia reads the letter twice. Then a 3rd time, she sets it down, picks up the legal document. The first page is a title, Transfer of Ownership, Cross Holdings International. She skims the text. Words jump out. Sole beneficiary, irrevocable trust, effective immediately upon death of Victoria Eleanor Cross. She flips to the last page, her mother's signature, dated 3 months ago. Underneath, a line for Olivia's signature. Unsigned. She sets the document down and stares at the wall. The hospital is quiet when she arrives. It's late, past visiting hours, but when she gives her name at the desk, the nurse nods and waves her through. Room 1247, 12th floor. Olivia takes the elevator. The hallway on the 12th floor is dimly lit. Her footsteps are soft on the tile. She passes rooms with closed doors, open doors, curtains drawn. Room 1247 is at the end. The door is ajar. Olivia pushes it open slowly. Her mother is asleep. The bed is angled slightly upright. An IV runs into her left arm. Monitors beep softly beside her. Her face is pale, her breathing shallow. Olivia steps inside and closes the door. She stands at the foot of the bed, hands in her pockets. Victoria doesn't wake. Olivia watches her for a long moment, then she pulls a chair closer and sits. Victoria dies 3 days later. Olivia is there when it happens. No dramatic final words. No last-minute reconciliation. Just breathing that slows, then stops. The monitors flatline. A nurse comes in, checks the machines, makes a note on a clipboard. "I'm sorry for your loss," she says quietly. Olivia nods. The nurse leaves. Olivia sits in the chair for another hour. Then she stands, walks out, and doesn't look back. The funeral is small. 20 people, maybe less. Olivia doesn't know most of them. Colleagues, business associates, a few board members. Richard Calloway approaches her after the service. "I'm sorry," he says. "Thank you. We need to schedule a meeting. There are decisions that need to be made." "I know. When would be convenient?" "Tomorrow." He nods. "I'll send you the details." He walks away. Olivia stands alone beside the grave as the workers begin filling it in. The meeting is in a conference room on the 40th floor of a building in Midtown. Olivia arrives 10 minutes early. Richard is already there, along with 3 other people, 2 men and a woman, all in suits. "Mrs. Whitmore," Richard says, "thank you for coming." She sits. The woman across from her slides a folder across the table. This outlines the current structure of Cross Holdings, assets under management, and liabilities. It also includes a transition plan for transferring operational control. Olivia opens the folder. The first page is a summary. Cross Holdings International total assets, 140.7 billion active subsidiaries, 87 employees, 240,000 SLUs. She closes the folder. "I'm not running the company." The woman blinks. "I'm sorry. I'm not running it. I'll retain ownership, but I want operational control transferred to the current executive team. Richard can oversee it." Richard leans forward. "Mrs. Whitmore, with all due respect, the board will do what I tell them to." Olivia says quietly, "Because I own the company. My mother made that very clear." Silence. Richard exchanges a glance with the woman. "Understood," he says finally. Olivia stands. "I'll sign whatever needs to be signed." "Send it to my lawyer." "You don't have a—" "Then hire one for me." She walks out. The divorce was finalized a week before Victoria died. Olivia receives the final decree in the mail on a Tuesday. She opens the envelope, skims the document, sets it on the counter beside the folder from her mother. 2 endings. She picks up her phone and scrolls to a name she hasn't called in months. Her ex-husband, Theo. She hesitates, then taps the screen. It rings 4 times before he answers. "Olivia?" His voice is uncertain, surprised. "Hi. He pauses. "I didn't expect to hear from you." "I know." Silence. "Is everything okay?" he asks. "I wanted to tell you something." "Okay." She takes a breath. "My mother died." "Oh. Shit, I'm sorry." "Thank you." Another pause. "Do you need anything?" he asks. "I mean, I know we're not, but if you need—" "I don't need anything," she says. "I just thought you should know." "Okay." She hears voices in the background, a woman's laugh. "Are you with someone?" Olivia asks. He hesitates. "Yeah, Rebecca. It's fine. I'm not calling about that." "Okay." She closes her eyes. "I'm calling because I wanted you to know that I'm fine. I'm better than fine, and you don't need to worry about me anymore." "I never stopped worrying about you, Liv." The nickname stings. You left, she says quietly. I know. You left because you thought I wasn't enough. That's not, let me finish. He goes quiet. You left because I didn't tell you who I was, Olivia continues. And I didn't tell you because I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to be someone you could love without conditions. I did love you, but not enough to stay. He doesn't respond. Olivia opens her eyes. My mother left me a company worth $140 billion, she says. I didn't tell you that when we were married because I didn't want it to matter. I wanted you to love me for me, not for what I could give you. She hears him inhale sharply. But it turns out, Olivia continues, that pretending to be smaller doesn't make you more lovable. It just makes you invisible. Liv, I'm not angry. I'm just done. She hangs up. Her hand is shaking. She sets the phone down and stares at it. 3 weeks later, Olivia stands in the lobby of the Cross Holdings building. It's glass and steel, 52 stories tall. The logo is etched into the marble floor beneath her feet. Richard Calloway is waiting by the elevators. Mrs. Whitmore. Olivia, she corrects. He nods. Olivia. The board is upstairs. I'm not here for the board. He frowns. Then why? I'm here to see the building. Walk me through it. He hesitates, then gestures toward the elevators. They ride to the top floor in silence. When the doors open, Olivia steps out into a hallway lined with glass walls, offices on either side, people working at desks, in meetings, on phones. No one looks up. Richard leads her to a corner office at the end of the hall. This was your mother's. He opens the door. The office is massive. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. A desk made of dark wood. Shelves lined with books and framed photographs. Olivia walks to the window. The city spreads out below her. Buildings and streets and rivers of light. What do you think? Richard asks. She doesn't answer right away. Then, I think she built something that won't break. Richard nods slowly. She did. Olivia turns to face him. And I'm going to make sure it doesn't. 6 months later, Olivia receives a phone call. It's from Theo. She almost doesn't answer. Then she does. Hello? Olivia, it's me. His voice is strained. I know. He stops. I need to ask you something. Go ahead. Is it true? She waits. That you own Cross Holdings? Yes. Silence. You never told me, he says finally. No. Why? Because it didn't matter. It would have mattered to me. Olivia closes her eyes. That's exactly why I didn't tell you. He exhales sharply. I made a mistake. Yes, you did. I want to fix it. You can't. Liv, please. Just listen. Rebecca and it's not working. I thought she was what I wanted, but she's not worth $140 billion. He goes silent. That's not fair, he says quietly. It's accurate. I loved you. Past tense. No, Olivia interrupts. You don't. You loved the version of me you thought you could manage. The one who needed you. I'm not that person anymore. I never wanted you to need me. Yes, you did. That's why you left. Because I stopped asking for your help. I stopped needing your approval, and you couldn't stand it. He doesn't respond. Olivia opens her eyes. Don't call me again. She hangs up. 1 year after her mother's death, Olivia stands in the library of the Bedford Hills estate. The house is hers now. She hasn't moved in. She's thought about it. Today, she's here to meet with the estate manager. There are decisions to be made about the property, whether to keep it, sell it, turn it into something else. She walks to the window where her mother used to sit. The view is the same. The lawn, the trees, the long driveway stretching toward the main road. Anne appears in the doorway. Miss Olivia, your guest has arrived. Send them in. Anne nods and disappears. A moment later, a woman enters. She's young, mid-30s maybe. Dark hair pulled into a ponytail. She's wearing jeans and a blazer, holding a tablet. Ms. Cross? Olivia turns. Just Olivia. The woman smiles. I'm Sarah Nguyen. I'm with the architectural firm you contacted. Right, thank you for coming. Sarah sets her tablet on the desk. You mentioned wanting to repurpose the estate. Yes. What did you have in mind? Olivia looks around the library. A foundation. For women who are rebuilding their lives after leaving difficult situations. Divorce, abuse, financial control. Whatever they're walking away from. Sarah nods slowly. That's a powerful mission. It's personal. I can see that. Olivia meets her gaze. I want this place to be a resource, not a monument. Understood. Sarah opens her tablet. Let's talk about what that looks like. 2 years after Victoria's death, Cross Holdings launches a new initiative. It's not flashy, no press releases, no public announcements, just a quiet addition to the company's portfolio, a network of resource centers across the country, offering legal support, financial planning, and job placement for women transitioning out of unstable situations. Olivia attends the opening of the first center. It's in a renovated building in Brooklyn. Bright, open spaces. Desks and meeting rooms and a childcare area. She doesn't give a speech. She stands in the back and watches as women sign up for services, ask questions, shake hands with the staff. Richard finds her near the end of the event. This is good work, he says. It's necessary work. He nods. Your mother would be proud. Olivia doesn't respond right away. Then, I hope so. 3 years after Victoria's death, Olivia sits in her apartment. It's not the same apartment. She moved 6 months after the inheritance was finalized. Not to something extravagant, just a 2-bedroom in a better neighborhood. More light. A kitchen that doesn't require her to stand sideways to open the oven. She's kept the job at the dental office. Dr. Paulson offered to let her go, said she didn't need to work anymore. She told him she wanted to. It's grounding, routine. Her phone buzzes on the coffee table. She picks it up. A message from Richard. Board meeting next week. Quarterly review. Your presence requested, but not required. She types back, I'll be there. She sets the phone down. The folder from her mother is still in her desk drawer. She hasn't thrown it away. She opens the drawer, pulls it out, and rereads the letter. The words are the same, but they mean something different now. 4 years after Victoria's death, Olivia stands in the cemetery. She hasn't been back since the funeral. The grave is simple. A flat stone with her mother's name, dates, and nothing else. Olivia sets a small bouquet of flowers on the grass beside it. She doesn't say anything. She just stands there, hands in her coat pockets, and listens to the wind move through the trees. After a while, she turns and walks back to her car. 5 years after Victoria's death, Olivia receives another call from Theo. This time she doesn't answer. She sees his name on the screen, lets it ring, and deletes the voicemail without listening. She's done looking back. The foundation expands. More centers, more cities. Olivia doesn't manage the day-to-day operations. She hires people for that. But she attends every opening. She meets the women who use the services. She listens to their stories. One woman tells her about leaving a marriage where she wasn't allowed to have her own bank account. Another talks about rebuilding her career after years of being told she wasn't smart enough. A third describes the moment she realized she didn't have to stay small to be loved. Olivia listens. She doesn't share her own story, but she understands. 7 years after Victoria's death, Olivia sits in the corner office at Cross Holdings. She's not CEO, she's still just the owner. But she's more present now. Quarterly meetings, strategic decisions, approving initiatives that align with the company's mission. Richard walks in with a report. Earnings are up 12% this quarter. Pharma and energy are outperforming expectations. Olivia skims the document. What about the foundation? Growing faster than projected. We've opened 15 new centers this year. Good. Richard sits across from her. You've changed, he says. How? You're more direct, more comfortable with authority. Olivia sets the report down. I spent most of my life trying to be someone I wasn't. I'm done with that. Richard nods. Your mother would say the same thing. Olivia smiles faintly. She did. 10 years after Victoria's death, Olivia stands at the window of the corner office. The city stretches out below her. She's 44 now. Her hair has threads of gray she doesn't bother covering. She wears suits when she needs to, jeans when she doesn't. She never remarried. She dated a few people over the years, nothing serious. She's content with her work, her routine, her life. Richard retired last year. His replacement is younger, sharper, more aggressive. Olivia approved the hire. The company is thriving. The foundation has centers in 30 states. She's built something, not just inherited it. Built it. Her phone buzzes. A message from Anne, the estate manager. The library renovations are complete. Would you like to schedule a walkthrough? Olivia types back, tomorrow, 2 p.m. She sets the phone down and returns to the window. The library looks different. The shelves are still there, but they're filled now with resources instead of decoration. Legal guides, financial planning books, directories of services. The chairs by the window have been replaced with a long table surrounded by seats. Sarah Nguyen is waiting when Olivia arrives. What do you think? Olivia walks the perimeter slowly, taking it in. It's perfect. We kept the bones of the room, just repurposed the function. Olivia stops at the table, runs her hand along the surface. My mother used to sit by that window every afternoon. What was she like? Olivia considers the question. Difficult, demanding, uncompromising, and she built something that outlasted her. Sarah nods. So did you. Olivia meets her gaze. I'm trying. 15 years after Victoria's death, Olivia receives a letter. It's from a woman named Jessica. She used one of the foundation's centers 5 years ago. She's writing to say, thank you. I left my marriage with $200 in a suitcase. I didn't know how to open a bank account. I didn't have a resume. I thought I was starting over from nothing. The center helped me find a job. They helped me get a lawyer. They helped me see that I wasn't nothing. I'm a manager now. I have my own apartment. My kids are in college. I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I wanted you to know that what you built saved my life. Olivia reads the letter twice. Then she folds it carefully and sets it in her desk drawer, beside her mother's letter. 20 years after Victoria's death, Olivia sits in the library of the Bedford Hills estate. The foundation is hosting a gala fundraiser. 200 guests, donors, advocates, women who've used the centers and wanted to give back. Olivia doesn't give speeches, but tonight she makes an exception. She stands at the front of the room, hands resting on the edge of the podium. My mother once told me that pretending to be smaller doesn't make you more lovable. It just makes you invisible. The room is silent. For a long time, I believed that being small was safer, that asking for less meant I'd lose less, that if I didn't take up space, no one could take it from me. She pauses. I was wrong. A few people nod. This foundation exists because I know what it feels like to walk away from something and not know if you'll survive. I know what it's like to rebuild from nothing. And I know that having resources, real, tangible resources, makes the difference between surviving and thriving. She looks out at the crowd. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing that this work matters. She steps down. The applause is quiet but steady. 25 years after Victoria's death, Olivia stands in the cemetery again. She's 69 now. The flowers she brings are the same. Small. Simple. She sets them on the grass beside the stone. "I kept it going," she says quietly. The wind moves through the trees. "I didn't let it break." She stands there for a long time. Then she turns and walks back to her car. The company continues. The foundation continues. Olivia steps back from active management in her 70s, but she remains on the board. She attends meetings. She approves major decisions. She lives in the 2-bedroom apartment. She still works part-time at the dental office. Dr. Paulson retired years ago, but his daughter took over. Olivia stayed. It's routine. It's grounding. It's enough. 30 years after Victoria's death, Olivia dies in her sleep. She's 84. Her will is clear. Cross Holdings transfers to a trust managed by the foundation. The company remains intact. The centers continue operating. Her legacy is not wealth. It's infrastructure, resources, access. The funeral is small. The grave is next to her mother's. The stone is simple. Olivia Cross Whitmore. 1942, 2026. She built something that didn't break. A woman stands at the grave. She's 43, dark hair, jeans, and a coat. She used the foundation's services 15 years ago. She's the executive director now. She sets flowers on both graves. Then she turns and walks away. The work continues. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Mr. Douglas Tales, where powerful stories unfold one moment at a time.